In a previous tweet, Chris Eubank Jr. said he's now 100% certain that Conor Benn is a cheat after watching his interview on television last night. And Conor Benn responded by saying, "You're sat there trying to play the victim, but tried blackmailing me for £1 million. Now, what is he talking about there? Blackmailing him for £1 million? Did Eubank Jr. threaten to go to the press while their fight was still on and demand £1 million from Conor Benn for him not to do so? Is that what he's alluding to here? That would be a scandal in itself. Because this is a very serious accusation, actually. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did Chris Eubank Jr. actually try to blackmail Conor Benn and say, "Give me $1 million or I'm going to the press and the fight won't go ahead"? And if he did say something like that, was he serious or was he trolling? Because I'm going to assume Conor Benn never paid him the $1 million and Eubank Jr. didn't go to the press, or did he? Because there is a theory out there that it was actually Eubank's dad, Eubank Sr., who leaked the story to the press. Eddie Hearn all along has claimed that it was the British Boxing Board of Control that did it, but Robert Smith has of course denied this. I'm not sure if Eubank Sr. has denied it, he may have done, but Eubank Sr. certainly had motive because he didn't want his son going through with that fight. And Eubank Sr. definitely has connections in the press, for sure. Who knows? We can only speculate about all this, but I would like Conor Benn to elaborate on this accusation he's making against Chris Eubank Jr. that he tried to blackmail him. I said in a previous video, I think it would be a good idea from a PR perspective to have his feet held to the fire on Simon Jordan's show on TalkSport. I think he would gain a lot more respect back from the boxing public if he submitted himself to that kind of scrutiny, rather than going on his dad Nigel's friend's show on mainstream television. No, go on Simon Jordan's show, have your feet held to the fire, and also tell us about this Eubank Jr. blackmail situation, allegation. Let's get it all out in the open. And as far as Conor Benn saying, because of legal situations, he's not allowed to disclose full details about what's in this 270-page dossier, well, him and his experts and his team are the ones that did the investigation and compiled that dossier. It's not like it's a report compiled by some third party like UCAD or the WBC or whatever, and you're bound by NDAs. No, it's your own report. So if you're not going to submit it to the British board, then tell us exactly what's in it. Tell us every last detail. Why not? You say you're not going to apply for your British license, so what have you got to lose? You're not going to fight in Britain anyway. And if the evidence is as compelling and voluminous as you claim it is, then it's going to help you from a PR perspective. And isn't that what you want, Conor Benn? Don't you want to be redeemed in the eyes of the public? Isn't that why you've been so upset, taken to social media at every opportunity? Isn't that what the interview on TV last night was an attempt to achieve? Redemption in the eyes of the public. So get yourself on Simon Jordan's show for a proper sit down. Say what you like about Simon Jordan, people, and I've had my criticisms of him in the past. The one thing he's shown is that he's willing to ask the tough questions. He's not trying to make friends with the fighters or the promoters or anybody else. And again, while I do think he's made some daft statements about certain issues in boxing in the past, I think he's on the right track. In general, he has the right approach. And one of the reasons that he can do that is, one, he's a rich man anyway. I know he lost a lot of money because of the Crystal Palace thing and all that, but he's still got plenty of money in the bank, as I understand it. And presumably he gets paid a salary at TalkSport. So unlike the YouTubers who interview these boxers, he isn't relying on views in order to put food on the table. So if certain boxers or certain promoters don't like him and they don't want to give him access and all that kind of thing, he still gets paid anyway. Whereas if one of these YouTube channels lost access to, let's say, Eddie Hearn shows and fighters, Frank Warren shows and fighters, they'd probably be on a dole queue by Monday morning. And I'm not blaming them, right? I understand the situation that they're in. But it just so happens that Simon Jordan is in a better position to be grilling these boxing figures because they don't have any leverage on him. He doesn't work for DAZN or BT. He only works for TalkSport. And TalkSport are not a boxing broadcaster, so there's no conflict of interest. You know, some of these people on Sky, they might ask Ben Shalom and Ben Shalom fighters softball questions. Same goes for people on BT. Same goes for presenters on DAZN. Laura Woods, for example, works on DAZN and on TalkSport. But with Simon Jordan, no, it's just TalkSport. So Conor Benn Get yourself on Sam and Jordan's show. Stop messing about. All this stuff you're doing, at least from my vantage point, is not working. You're making yourself look worse. It's time to face the music. And if that's not going to be the British board and UCAD, then as far as the court of public opinion, it has to be Sam and Jordan's show on TalkSport. Let me know what you guys think. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.